We're on the road with Congressman Adam Kinzinger. He's about to speak to the Rotary Club here in downtown Ottawa, Illinois, but we've got him for a few quick minutes. Are you surprised that this trade war with China suddenly seems to be threatening to have some mushroom clouds over central Illinois and farm country like this?
It's not surprising for a couple of reasons. This is an existential fight for both nations. The United States, we have more bullets in the gun, so to speak, in terms of options to use against China. China has a higher pain threshold. When you're in a communist nation that people don't have a right to an opinion, you can take more pain. China is concerned. The United States is concerned with the last number of decades, all of our stuff that was stolen, the unfair trade practices. I think we have to win this war. And China is making it particularly painful in districts like mine, rural America, because they're the ones that vote for President Trump.
Well, but President Trump's been criticized for not seeming to have a strategy here.
Right.
If you're going to take on China, well, then you don't take on the European Union at the same time, and Mexico and Canada. You focus your fire, you fight one front at a time, right?
Yeah, that's exact. I would actually buy into that line of thought. We have to win the fight against China, but we don't need to open every other trade war. What I would call on my Democratic friends, especially in Illinois, that understand the importance of agriculture, let's get the new NAFTA passed, the USMCA. That's a way better deal for Americans and for rural.
Nancy Pelosi seems to be acting like it might give the president a victory.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
So explain, what would it mean for Illinois?
So it's better for agricultural products, first off. It gives us better exports. It's better protection for
Canada
workers.
And Mexico.
To Canada and Mexico. Better protection for workers in Mexico and by default here. Raises wages in Mexico so that we're not competing on an unfair playing field. People aren't leaving because they're paying $3 an hour. Now they're actually going to be paying a living wage in Mexico. And it also lifts the caps in terms of auto exports into the United States and out of the United States. So it's a much better deal all around. I think it would be a psychological victory more than anything. But I also think the president should be building alliances around China. Get back into TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership that was negotiated.
He denounced it because Barack Obama cut that.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's a good reason to denounce it. If there's parts you don't like, let's renegotiate and get in. But to fight China with a bunch of free trade partners around them, by the way, if you're a company in China and you want to avoid U.S. tariffs, and you can now move to a free trade into your production, you're going to do that. It's also damaging to China, beneficial to us, and I think it'll put us on a better foot to win.
What do you think is going to happen here? The guys that are in the ag implements sector, I know there's people working at the Del Monte plant and a retiree here who are scared to death about what's coming. What do you think? Are we about to fall off the cliff?
I don't think so, no. I think both sides are taking it up to the point they can. The Chinese have way more to lose here. They have to feed over 1 billion people. They have to feed over 1 billion people on an economy that's failing. And so I think they're trying to maximize pressure to hope that this public pressure actually prevents the president from doing it. They may wait to see what the election does. And then ultimately, I think, especially if President Trump wins again, they will acquiesce. And we're not even asking for all this stuff. We're just asking for a fair deal. And I think that should be anything any country should demand from any other country.
All right. You're about to take off to do some of your Air Force service. You're in the Air Force Reserve. Tell us about that. Why do you do that? I mean, you're on the Foreign Service Committee. You've got a lot of stuff going on in Washington. Why do you take time out to go do that Air Force?
So I love flying. I love being in the military. So that's the selfish reasons. I love serving my country, kind of a selfish reason. But the other thing is, it keeps me humble and grounded. These guys don't care if I'm a congressman. They give me as hard of a time as they ever have done. And I also think there's something that's really uniquely American, if you look at the history, about people both putting on a suit and putting on a uniform and saying, I can do both jobs. If I need to, I'll go defend the country, and I can also legislate. And so for me, it's really important. And to be able to do it, it's a really big time commitment, because any day I have off, I'm usually having to put into the military, but it's one that's well worth it.
And we have fewer and fewer people with military service in the House and the Senate.
Yeah, we've got a good new growing generation, but you'll never reach where we were after like Vietnam or World War II.
Yeah. All right. A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Good luck speaking to the Rotary Club here in Ottawa. It's been fun. I recommend that you go out I-80.
Great food and great nature.
Yeah,
Come on
head
down.
south on Route 71 and check out Ottawa and Starbuck State Park. It's a beautiful part of Illinois. We're going to be right back.